I hope you can hear me better and it's not as spotty. Let me go ahead and share to my Facebook. Hopefully this is this better. I hope you can. We're just gonna try to do a little short live on my phone since the video through the GoPro is not very good. Comment below if it sounds a lot better. We don't have anybody on. I'm gonna wait till a few people get on here. All right, we got a few people on. Sorry for the glitchiness. It's I I actually tried at my like 3 different times before coming out here with the GoPro. Only my Wi-Fi or only my hotspot on my phone. Well, sadly, that is not the way to do it. My buddy Ethan was commenting on here or texting me that it was such laggy and glitchy that you couldn't hardly hear me. I had my mic on too, as you can see right there, but we will adapt and overcome. Sadly, we're not going to be on as long as I was wanting to because I'm on my phone right now, and I can't really fish while I'm live streaming here. I don't have any place to hold my phone, but we will make it work the best that we can. Let's see. That's my dad commenting. I started fishing with my dad and my grandpa, and then buddy Tristan Underwood got me into kayak fishing, and then the rest is history. And Percy Priest, which the water is actually frozen over here at the marina. Never seen that as long as I've been fishing out here. But we're tucked up in this little cove. Oh, never mind. It's a mom that's commenting. Hey, Mom. Anybody else is watching, go ahead and comment. We're going to do a live giveaway later on, probably in about 30 minutes. Sadly, my plans of fishing while doing this kind of gone away because I got to hold my phone. But we'll might just start driving around on the lake, showing you some spots that I look for, particularly in the wintertime. Percy Priest is full of rock, and that's one thing I love about fishing Percy Priest is there all the rock out here. Apparently, you have to create a channel to chat. I did not realize. That's what my mom's saying. What's up, More Sporting? Joining in. It was just a family affair just a little while ago, but Thanks for joining, and I can't believe it's your anniversary. One reason why I kind of wanted to get into kayak fishing, particularly the YouTube side of it, is I'm friends with Christine Fisher, and she always told me I should do it. And I started fishing a lot of the bigger, like Hobie Bass Open Series, and I just kind of wanted to film a lot of my adventures. Just enjoy going back and watching it when I get older. One thing that I have really enjoyed, and I was kind of cursed about starting a YouTube channel because I hate the sound of my own voice. And was it? But I overcame that fear, and I really enjoyed it. One thing that I did not realize about it is being able to go back and watch the little things, the little subtle things that you do to get a bite. You would never know you done it until you watch your videos back. Just the little pauses or the little shakes that you don't really know you're doing, and then you get a bite. It has really helped my fishing in a long way, going back and watching those older videos. And it really helps as far as learning new techniques and having some confidence in baits that you don't think you have a lot of confidence in. Hey Mark, thanks for joining. Oh wow, up in New York, they can't even fish because it's probably all frozen over. Percy Priest is actually a bit frozen. You can't really see it over there, but we have a little bit of ice. The water temp's only 39, so not sure why it's frozen. The fishing is really good out here lately, and I was really wanting to show some of the fishing out here live, but since I got to hold my phone live stream, I won't be able to make cast. I don't really have a good way to hold my phone without losing it, and I really don't want to lose my phone. Wow, 10 inches. I couldn't even think about all that. We fish all year long, and really the fishing down here gets even better in the wintertime. You won't catch as many fish, but you'll catch some giant fish. I'm actually, after this live stream ends, I'm planning on filming an episode out here. One of my buddies were going to join me. I don't think he's coming anymore, but I kind of wanted to go after some big smallmouth. This lake can be really good smallmouth fishing this time of year, and also some big largemouth. As you can see in my 48-hour tournament, I caught that 22-incher, and I actually caught it right over there, right over here. There's a log that's in the water over there, and it can be a really good spot to fish. Saratoga Springs. I'll have to get up. I've never been to New York. The farthest north I've ever been was Pennsylvania, fishing the Susky for the Hobie Bass Open. I think that was 2 years ago. Here's some fun times up there. So, getting back to what I was talking about, learning some stuff. I started fishing, I've always fished with my dad, going after like crappie and bluegill. But I started bass fishing when I was a freshman in high school. I graduated in 2017, so 2014-ish. Oh yeah, Chickamauga is one of my favorite. That's actually where my personal best is at, 22 and a half, around 8 pounds. I'll have to get back out there. But going back, I started fishing I started bass fishing in around freshman year, and my buddy, my best friend Tristan, I was sitting next to him at engineering class in high school at the tech school, and he actually talked to me about kayak fishing. He worked at a little place called Higher Pursuits in Columbia. They rented kayak, and he told me, let's go. We go fish the Duck River. So I went with him, and I actually fished out of a really nice kayak, and I got spoiled. And after I fished with him, I said, I gotta get a kayak. And then I went through 3 kayaks before I got this Hobie, or my other Hobie, and I've never looked back. These Hobies are really good, really stable, and I like to stand up and fish a lot. But that's kind of how I got into kayak fishing, was by my best friend Tristan. And I went that fateful day, caught a good smallmouth on the Duck River, and never looked back. I'm my true passion, and it's been a fun ride. I started fishing a bigger tournament, well, let's go. I started fishing kayak tournaments around my senior year, 2017, 2018. And then in 2021, 2022, I started fishing the Hobie Bass Open Series. And last year, the year before, I started fishing the Bassmaster, which I've only really fished. I'm planning on, if I can get all the money together, I'm going to fish the Bassmaster Championship on Lake Fork in March of this year. I think March 8th and 19th. Don't hold me to them dates. But it's been a really fun ride, and I've been very thankful for where I'm at right now. My parents have been a really big help. All my friends have given me the confidence in getting out there, and it's just been a fun ride. Oh, nice. I've been wanting to try the XR. I got the Ike Edition. It's a good kayak. I haven't had too much trouble with it. I did have one belt break, but that was probably my fault. I didn't adjust it right. Oh, good. Tim's in the chat. He said I sound good. That's good. I was really worried about the audio. If y'all have any questions, go ahead and ask me away. So I started the channel in January 26th of 2023. My very first video actually out here at the same exact ramp, and it was like a little trailer. If you go back and watch it, it's an absolute terrible, but it was fun, and I've learned a lot from that experience, and I'm just trying to get a little better every episode. A really big thanks to all y'all for watching, commenting, telling me what I do good, what I'm not doing too good. I've been trying to upgrade audio a lot lately. As you can tell in my last video, the new tournament, sometimes that does not go the way you want it, but sometimes it does help. I'm actually not using the mic right now. It's all plugged up to the GoPro because I was supposed to be filming on it, and that was a total failure, and I'm very sorry about that. I guess, like with you, Mark, you can't really from the summer and the winter time, so kind of winter techniques don't really apply to you. But a lot of my favorite wintertime techniques Well, thanks, Mark. Yeah, you should start a channel. It's fun. Just going back and watching your experiences is what makes it the most awesome. It does take a while to get used to your own voice. I know with me, I did not think I sounded like this in real life, and I'm very sorry that y'all watch. So this year, Tim, I'm going to fish the Tennessee Bass. A lot of the KBF10, which is our local club here in Nashville. And then I'm going to fish the Bassmaster Classic, or Championship. It should be the Classic. Steve-O, if you're watching, you should just go ahead and name it the Classic, because everybody else calls it that. After the Classic, I'm hoping to fish a few more of the Bassmaster this year. And then some of the native no limits tournament. I did good at Guntersville 2 years ago, and about probably a few smaller cast clubs, the Kayak Angler Society of Tennessee, which is what KBF10 is. I just look forward to this year. This year should be kind of fun. I'm hoping to fish a lot more than I did last year. This is actually the first time I'm on the water for 2025. I went a couple of trout fishing, and that was a complete failure as well. Didn't catch a thing. But there was also about 20 people fishing a little bitty creek because they just released trout. There's tornadoes. So later on, either in this giveaway, since I don't have access to my phone to be everybody hashtag Torn Outdoors, and I will add everybody to a spin the wheel, and we'll give away some Torn Outdoor baits. I think John has donated some Striker 4.0s, some Timber Crawls, and the new V-Strike maybe. I have to look back on the pictures. But he will be sending that out. So whoever the lucky winner is, and we have some people jumping on and jumping off, just go ahead and enter how to giveaway. Go ahead and comment hashtag Torn Outdoors, and then I'll look through all the comments whenever I get off, and I'll add everybody to a little spin the wheel, and we will do a live spin the wheel, or just a recording of that, and I'll put it on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok later tonight, and we will go from there. But thank you very much, John, for donating them baits. I know I use your baits a lot, and I know a lot of people local do it, and I hope some people outside of Tennessee have to find out about your baits. We got some comments. Ooh, getting kind of controversial with the live scope. I feel that there is a place for live scope. Tournament fishing, I do think that live scope can be, I don't know, in a depends on what kind of level of tournament. If it's a national tournament of where you go and people are watching live behind you, I don't think live scope, like Bassmasters as an example of, I don't think really live scope's a good idea for those kinds of clubs, because who wants to sit back there, watch a person just stare at a screen all day? I know I don't. In a kind of a amateur league where there's no camera boats and all that, I don't really see a yes or no. I know in kayak tournaments, that's all that I can really speak for. It can help you, and it can hurt you too. I used to have live scope, and I got rid of my live scope a couple of years ago to afford the motor that I have. I needed it quickly because I didn't want to pedal, and I haven't really looked back. And I haven't really looked back getting rid of it. I do see myself getting it in the future, just to be able to compete on these very deep, clear reservoirs like Dale Hollow. If you looked at the Tennessee Bass Nation this year, 90 inches was, you had to have 90 inches to be in the top 12. And I don't want to say yay or no, probably 10 out of those 12 were live scoping out in 30, 50 foot of water. If you don't have live scope, you're not going to catch those fish. In the video that I fished, that y'all saw me at Del Hollow, I did what I do good, which is cranking, and I just kept cranking and cranking. I do want to see the Explorer. I'm really curious about the Explorer model. I've heard a lot of good things about their new live scope as well. I have a Garmin personally, but I have thought about upgrading. It really depends on what I can get at Dugout, what Jamie at Dugout kind of recommends, and I'll see what I'll go with there. Am I cutting out again? That sucks. I'm hoping. That might just be the wind. It's getting a little windy too. Well, daggum. I haven't moved spots. But live scope, it's a very controversial, and I don't want to be the one that said, oh, well, if you don't have live scope, you're not going to catch fish. And, you know, live scope, it helps you catch deep fish, but it also, you stare at a screen at one fish for 30 minutes and not catch them, and you're wasting 30 minutes that you can be off catching other fish. So that's kind of how I see. So you have a Garmin 32. Yeah, if I get live scope again, I'm going to use it mainly for pre-fishing. I'm going to go to like big laydown or big brush piles and just scan over them, throw out a big glide bait, let it sink above it, and then just work it above a lot of a brush pile and see what comes out. And you know, if you've noticed all my videos, I love fishing docks. Docks are one of my favorite ways to fish. And just being able to pull up to a dock, look underneath it, skip something underneath it, and see what comes out, that's what I want to use it for. And that's what I've seen a lot of the pro anglers do. They don't really talk about it that much. I know he's kind of controversial, but Mike Miller, or whatever his name is, the one that just got arrested in Texas, he kind of talked about doing that a lot over brush piles because he loves throwing those big glide baits. But that's how I would personally use a live scope. Milliken, yep. I knew his name, I just couldn't figure out how to say it. Let's see if I make sure I didn't skip any comments. Thanks for all those tags. Oh yeah, I missed your comment. Champlain. I do look forward. I've always wanted to go up there. Some giant amount. How far is that away from you, Mark? I like to go up there sometime. It's definitely on my bucket list. My bucket list, my biggest bucket list lake is Lake Fork, which is where the championship is, March 18th to the 19th. I'm definitely wanting as much money as I can to be able to go to that one. Me and my buddy Chris Walters, who may be watching, I don't know if he is. He's a big supporter, and we're going to try to stay at the Lake Marina and Motel, I think what it's called. He's already got a room, and I looked at going to that lake. There's some giant fish. Okay, 1.5 to 2 hours, not bad. That's about as far as I am from Gunnersville, another giant lake, or giant bass lake, and my favorite lake of all, if that's anybody's question. But Lake Fork in March, if you look up any videos of it, can be a magical place, and it's definitely a bucket list place. All right, so there's one question I wanted to answer that nobody has said in the comments, but I've answered a lot in person. If you follow my TikTok, about a year ago, maybe even more, I posted a picture or a video of me on Harris Chain Lakes, and there was a special guest inside my kayak that I freaked out about. Well, if you already know that video, you know I'm terrified of frogs. And a lot of people have asked why. You fish all the time, there's frogs everywhere. And yes, I am terrified. And there's actually two questions that I'll answer. Yes, I do fish a frog, an artificial frog. I will not touch a real life frog. But the answer to this question is, I was young, probably about 2-ish years old. Grandmother was putting me in a floaty in a pool at my aunt's house. Well, there's a giant toad sitting on that float, and I screamed, and she just put me right in that float. And from then on, I've been terrified of frogs ever since. And it's one question that a lot of people has asked me, why am I terrified of frogs? And it is kind of funny that I am scared. Yep, I kind of figured that, Tim. You already put a harmonica on the bottom of my truck, which didn't work, by the way. I never heard it. But I wanted to answer that question. That's actually that's either my most viewed or second most viewed TikTok video. And I think it's just because of everybody phobias. I know a lot of people, phobia is snakes. Snakes don't really bother me. As long as I know they're there, I don't really get scared by them. It's when they come up on you and you don't realize it and you look over. That's what But I was actually down at Gunnersville fishing with my buddy Garrett Wade, and there was one in my kayak somewhere. I don't know if it was a live one or he put a little electronic device, a little recorder, croaking, riveting all day when we were fishing Gunnersville, and I was on the edge all day. Oh, I hate spiders. Yeah, I don't even say the word spiders, definitely around my mom, because she is definitely afraid of them. I don't mind them as long as I know they're there. Again, if something spooks me, I get kind of scared. So Tim, Girl Dad Fishing, he's going to start up a YouTube channel here soon. You know him from my Gunnersville video where we were out there fishing. He asked, what is your favorite lake and style of fishing? So my favorite lake is Gunnersville. I don't think I've ever been to any other lake that you can go and catch the size anytime, any day of the week, any time of the year. You can go out there and catch your record, your PB. And for a lake that gets fished every day nonstop, that lake is just amazing that it holds up to that much pressure. It really tells you how healthy the Tennessee River is. But that is my favorite all-time. Number 2 would probably be either Percy Priest or Chickamauga, just because Chickamauga is another lake that gets pressured a lot. But Chickamauga is a little bit harder to fish. It has a lot, it's a little bit, you got to figure it out more. It's a big lake, but it fishes small. Gunnersville is a big lake, and you can win. I solely believe you can win a tournament there out of any ramp at any time of the year. Chickamauga, you just can't do that. Fine, it fishes really small. Percy Priest, I like it because of smallmouth fishing. A lot of people will say Dale Hollow is better, but in my opinion, Percy Priest beats it. You won't see as many big bags out of Percy Priest as in Dale Hollow. Like I said, the Tennessee Bass Nation, the top 12 people had 90 inches, which is absolutely amazing. But going back, they were using live scope, a lot of them was, and it's just kind of, it's a little hard if you don't have live scope to catch a giant bag at Dale Hollow. But at Priest this time of year, you watch the video tomorrow or video next week, you will see, I hope you will see anyway, I don't know, I haven't caught anything yet, but you can see that you don't have to fish out deep out here to catch a good bag. I know a couple of guides come out here and fish real deep this time of year, and you can catch them good size too. But probably my top 3 lakes are definitely Bass, or are definitely Gunnersville, and either Chickamauga or Percy Priest is my number 2. Let's see, average size of the smallmouth out here, probably 16 through 18 inches. You see a lot above 18, but it's kind of, it's real particular about like season. Like this time of year, last year, 2 years, we come out here and catch probably 5 or 6 above 18 inches. Hopefully tomorrow or this afternoon when I end this live, we can go and show you some. Let's see, my most memorable catch. Ooh, let's see. It's probably be, I don't know. It's either, so I'll give you my top 2. It's either the one out here at Percy Priest during the 48-hour tournament on day, I think it was day 2 of that 48 hours. I was throwing a little shaky head with a striker 6.0, which I have right here. Can't see it. There you go. Little Torn Outdoors striker 6.0, which I actually have this one rigged up on a Texas rig, but I caught it on a shaky head. That was a really fun fish because that was my biggest fish in on Percy Priest. So that was fun. And I told my buddy Ethan, if he's watching still, that you usually can catch the biggest fish during the middle of the day, in the middle of the heat, in the heat of the day. And by golly, I caught that one at like 1 o'clock in the middle of the summer month when it was 102 outside. So that's probably one of my funnest, most memorable catches. Probably the second or the first one would probably have to be the Chickamauga when I caught that 22 and a half. The story behind it, sadly, I wasn't filming at that time, but I actually won second place in the Hobie BOS out there. Beat Christine Fisher, and my buddy, what's his name? He won, and he had an absolute amazing day. He had like 200 inches out on Chickamauga for day two, like 2 day total. I had 180, I think. But getting back to the story, I was actually fishing a frog. It was like the first 30 minutes of the tournament. I was fishing a frog, and he actually, I don't know if that fish or another fish blew up on it. I set the hook, and I missed him. And I sat there, I'm like, I'm not doing this all day. I'm not missing big fish. So I tied on my faithful popper, threw back over there, and he just came up and barely sucked it under. I eased into it, set the hook, and he jumped up. When he jumped up, I said, oh my gosh, John. He jumped up 3 times before I got him in the net. And it was, every time he jumped, I had a heart attack. And it was a fun catch. Probably my most memorable catch, just because of the size of it. And I actually tied for big bass on that one. And sadly, I lost a quarter of an inch. But that was probably my most memorable catch. Whoa. The wind's blowing me up on some rocks. We'll get you on a good one, Tim. So if you're familiar with that Gunnersville video, Tim has only caught a 19-incher. And I caught, I think, like a 19 and a half on Gunnersville, and he said, or I can't remember exactly what he said before that. I'd like to catch a bigger fish, I like to catch my PB. And then I said, but we're in Alabama. And then in the video, you can actually hear him say, oh, I forgot that. I got to throw that one in. Every time I can, I always make fun of him. Which he'll make fun of me when he starts his videos, too. So I think, well, what's my favorite technique? That's another kind of challenging, because I have 3 that I absolutely love to throw. And, well, really I have 4. It depended on when you would ask me this question. Leading up, about last year, I started finding a new technique that I absolutely love. But it's only half the year, during the summer and the fall and the spring. And that would be a popper. I love fishing that little popper. I've won a lot of money on that. It's a little bluegill popper. And it's what I think the reason why I've caught so many fish on it, and I kind of hate to tell y'all this, but a popper used to be real popular back in the early days, back in the day. And I think a lot of people have switched to frogs, popping frogs. A lot of people throwing buzz baits nowadays. You know, the whopper plopper used to be a big fish catching, but now you can't hardly catch anything because everybody threw it. And I think a lot of people have stopped throwing a popper. And I think that's one reason I've caught so many fish on it. And I kind of throw it a little bit on a little bit different than what other people do. Well, I see that some people are having trouble. I hope y'all can hear me. But anyway, if you can still hear me, I hope you can. But I was fishing. I fish it a little bit different than a lot of people. I'll throw it up in the thick stuff, and then I just work it back. If I can do 1 or 2 pops with it being clean, I usually get those strikes. I usually get those bites in those little patches. If I can only work it a little bit, I'll work it, and then once I get hung up, I'll just jerk it back to me. And it has been, I've caught so many fish doing that. Another technique that I absolutely love, and I've loved this technique since I started fishing, is a jig. You can't go wrong with a a bad boy jig. It's just a good all-around bait. You can fish it all year long. And one reason why I like fishing a jig all year long is because of the trailers that I use. I don't have one with me right now. I like throwing the timber crawl from Torn Outdoors because it's so versatile. There it is. So there's a bad boy jig right there with the timber crawl. And the reason why it's so versatile is because those arms, you can actually, the legs, they have little plastic holders that you can separate to get more kicking action. And if you don't want that much kicking action, you don't separate all of them. And in the summertime, you want all that kicking. In the summertime, you want all that kicking. But in the wintertime, you want a very subtle action. And there's really no other bait out there that you can kind of micro adjust those baits. And that's one reason why I love the timber crawl. And that's one reason why when John offered to donate all those baits, I told him, throw in a pack of timber crawls because I talk about them all the time. And they're my favorite bait from Torn Outdoors. Whew, this wind's getting me. Old Tim said, I hear you have a specialty dinner you like to cook everybody. If you know me, and I don't really film at the Airbnbs or hotel rooms, which I kind of want to do a behind the scenes video one time. And I probably will do that at the Bassmaster Classic, at the Classic Championship, just to kind of take y'all along with everything. But I do have a specialty. I love tacos, and everybody always, if you know me, if you know me, I'm always eating tacos, and that's my specialty meal. That's kind of a tradition before a tournament. You gotta have tacos. Yeah, I do kind of. I am gonna plan on trying to do a behind the scenes. The only weird thing about it is you go to like Bass Pro Shop or go to dinner. People look at. Are we back? Let me comment below if you can hear me again. I don't know why the service has just gotten. Okay, there we go. I moved like 2 inches and it just completely died. Let's see, where can you buy Torrent baits? You can buy them on their website, Torrent Baits Outdoor. You can actually use my coupon code. I think it's Ethan Jett Fishing. If John's still here, he can comment on that. Hopefully y'all can hear me back. I'm fixing to have to run to the truck because my batteries are about to die as well. I don't know why. I guess the cold snapping. You can buy, this water's shallow. But Torn Outdoors website, you can buy it from there. And then there's a few local shops around Nashville. Buy it as well. Just go on their Facebook page and you can look at where they sell. Everything's on their website as well. And you can go to their website through their Facebook page. I don't know why. I guess I'm going to... Oh, we got 5 bars now. I hope y'all can hear me good. It says you're back, but sounds are on and off. Hopefully y'all can hear me good. So if y'all are just now joining in, make sure you're hashtag Torn Outdoors to be entered in the giveaway. Let's see. Mark asked, what is the worm again on your shaky head? That'd be a Torn Outdoors Striker 6.0. The color is kind of forgetting me right now. It's green. It's a green apple red flake, or green pumpkin, I'm sorry. One of my favorites. It's a really good shaky head worm. Nico rig, if you Nico rig at all. Really good around grass if you're Nico rigging. Now it does float. You can't really use it as it floats. It's kind of buoyant, how to say. So if you're wanting to use it as a wacky worm, can't really do that. Oh, you missed a simple menu. I'm a taco fanatic. I have a special recipe for my tacos, and I like them. Everybody else that has them, they all say they like them, but you know, people lie. What are my plans for the channel 25? Well, this year I'm gonna kind of start doing a beginner's guide to bass fishing series. I know I've done a little bit in the past, but this year I'm actually gonna try to start a weekly, maybe try to do like 2 videos a week. One like bass fishing and tournaments, and another one as like an informative video. Now that takes a lot of time to do it, and so I'm not promising anything, but I do hope to get to that point here soon. And that's just a great way to improve the channel quality and get a lot more views and subscribers. I'm going to try to do it coming here soon. But getting back, I am planning on doing that beginner's guide to bass fishing. I got a few videos that I want to do with some other anglers, including you, girl dad. I got some challenges that I want to get a few YouTubers together and do. I don't know, little hints. It's the size of fishing rods, little Barbie pole action maybe. It'll be a fun video, just something fun to get out. Other than that, just keep doing tournament videos, and just keep doing like instead of 3 bait videos per month, I'm going to do a bait per month video, and it's just going to go into a more depth breakdown, and it's actually going to show me out here fishing with that bait. Kind of like, to be honest, it's going to be kind of like Ott Defoe does a 1 bait per month video, or that bait per month. And I just hope to I hope to explain how to fish more. And there's a lot more stuff that I'm planning on doing, but I really don't want to talk about it yet, in case it don't happen. Yes, Torn Outdoors just commented they sell them at Anderson Green if you're local. Actually, I've not said this yet, but I'll be at the Lebanon Fishing Show, the Tennessee Boat and Fishing Expo. This will be Friday through Sunday next weekend in Lebanon at the Wilson County Fairgrounds. I'll be at Doors booth, and I'll be at another booth, which I'm going to do a big announcement with a new sponsor coming up. Probably I'll do that tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that. Yes, thank you, Tim. I need to keep on track. I do get sidetracked very easy. And to be honest, setting out here and not fishing is kind of getting to me as well. But if you're just joining in, I've seen that we've grown a little bit. Go ahead and hit that hashtag Torn Outdoors. Be entered into the giveaway. And again, we're going to I was planning on trying to do the giveaway live during this live, but since it's on my phone now, I'm going to have to end this live probably about 15 more minutes and go in there, copy all the names that have entered, and then I'll do either just a Facebook live or just a video with the spin the wheel, and we'll see who wins this giveaway. But just comment hashtag Torn Outdoors below if you haven't already, and we'll give away some great baits from Torn Outdoors. We got some people walking up on me. Sailor. All right. So I know I get asked this a lot. What is one thing I cannot fish without? And that's kind of a two-part question. If I'm fishing out of a kayak, one thing I could not fish without would be my kayak cushions. These seat cushions from Kayak Cushion is probably the best thing that ever been made. This Hobie seat is really comfortable. The Vantage seat by Hobie, it's really nice, but adding that extra cushion at the over the seat, whew, it just makes it 10 times better. The ones that I use, Kayak Cushion Extra, I think it's called Big Bertha. I use the one, that's what I'm sitting on, and then just a regular cushion, just a regular kayak cushion for my back. Yeah, I couldn't fish without it. If fishing out of a boat, the one thing I probably could not fish without, probably be my 7'3" Cashin medium heavy rod. That rod is just an absolute killer. You can put a Texas rig, a popper, that's what I throw my poppers on, any kind of top water bait, little micro jigs. Oh yeah, I didn't think about the PFD. Well, that's just a requirement. You know, that's not something that you can, that's just a PFD, you got to wear it all the time. It's an afterthought, you know. You do feel weird without it. I've actually fished once without or started to fish, not in a tournament, just out fun fishing. And I got out and started heading out. I'm like, this feels weird. And I stopped. I'm like, oh crap. So, well, with talking about PFD, let's go into some safety stuff that you need during a winter time. I did talk about that we were going to talk about some winter tips. So, wintertime fishing, when the water is cold like it is, it's 38 degrees right now. You have a very limited time if you fall in before you die. So having FD is a must. The first thing you do when you fall into cold water is, oh, you gasp. And that's how people drown. When they fall in the water, they gasp, and all that water goes into your lungs. A second thing that I have that I think a lot of people should talk about in a kayak is I actually have a change of clothes inside the front hatch. I would get it out, but it's a little hard to get out. And that's just to be able to win. And you want to, if you fall in, you want to take all your clothes off as quick as you can, get in something dry and start like a fire. So I actually have a little fire starter as well to start a fire. But that's just some tips and some things that you need if you're fishing in the cold. And the most important thing, you really kind of need to let people know where you're going to be at, what time you're going to get out. And that's just for safety aspect. And if you can, always have a buddy with you in the winter time. That will save you in a pickle if you are up the creek. But we got another question. What is your favorite video? My dad asked. Let's see. That's gonna be a tough one as well. My favorite video, it's probably the one I was fishing with my buddy Wade Warner boat. I think it was titled my first boat tournament of the year. It was at the beginning of last year. Around this time, it was freezing cold, but Wade's personality and attitude, he can make a bad situation funny. That was all the video that my reel broke while I was reeling in a big smallmouth, or a decent smallmouth. And then he went to go scoop it in, and that broke. We finally got the fish in. And then after that, while fishing, I caught a rock. I was reeling in a big old rock. And and then he asked, well, I can net it if you want it. And I'm like, yeah. So that video, I had about like 30 minutes of content, of funny content I could have posted, which it was hard to narrow down all that to make it into like a 15-20 minute video. That was probably my favorite. Let's see, fishing techniques learn or improve on in 2025. Probably a jerkbait. I know a lot of people love fishing a jerkbait. I hate it. I absolutely hate fishing a jerkbait, and I'm going to force myself into doing it. That, and during the winter time, I want to learn and improve on my Alabama rig as well. Fishing an Alabama rig and a kayak can be really tough, so I want to kind of improve on that as well. Those two, a jerkbait and Alabama rig, is probably my two baits that I want to improve on for 2025. Let's see. Here we go. And how has this channel impacted your life and or fishing? So that's a good question, Tim. It kind of goes back. It has impacted me. I never really thought anybody would really watch my content. And then I was sitting at a gas station in my town, and this woman comes up and actually is holding the door open for me. And she stops me and says, "Do you fish on YouTube?" And I was like, "Yes, I do." And she's like, "You Jett's Fishing Adventure?" And from then on, I was like, wow, people are actually watching. And it has really changed how I want to view, how I want to teach people, how I want to, I like to help people. And that's kind of, that has changed that people has actually watches. And since then, I've been stopped by 3 or 4 different people around my hometown and around other areas that I have no clue who they are. They've just stopped me and asked, "Hey, are Jett's Fishing Adventures?" I'm like, "Yeah." And that's just really cool. So that's kind of impacted my life, and in a positive way, to know that people actually watch, and I've learned that I've actually taught people stuff. So my dream lake to fish, it's probably Lake Fork, to be completely honest. Just the videos I've watched, it's a very big bass factory. Any tips on fishing jigs? Probably the biggest thing is try to go the lightest line that you can, that you feel safe with fishing, because that will change the fall rate. Really with any bait, the lighter line that you use, the fall rate will change. Worm, jigs, jig fishing, you don't always have to just drag it back. You can swim it back, you can shake it. We have a friend here that that fishes KBF10, that I won't say his name, but if you know anything about jig fishing, you know this dude. And don't let the jig set hardly. He just sits there and shakes it all the way back. But he just the daylights out of him. The other thing that's big on a jig is changing your trailer. I know I've talked about the Torn Outdoors Timber Crawl, and that's why I like it so much. It's very versatile. It can be used as a swim jig trailer. It can be used as a chatterbait trailer. But I like it for my jigs because I can actually change the action of the little flippers. That's funny. Well, we're at the 55-minute mark, so I was going to kind of close this about an hour. Have any more questions, feel free to ask them, and I'll answer. If we go over, it's fine. Yeah, you should be jealous, Tim. I don't know how long it has. It's been 3 years, maybe 2 years. It's actually kind of nice. A lot of people fuss about like long hair, but I like the long hair because it keeps the sun off your back, and you don't have to use a lot of sunscreen. Like my ears, I hardly ever have to sunscreen them. The only thing I have to put sunscreen is my nose and around my face. Well, thank y'all for joining in. It's been an honor, and I look forward to this year, 2026. or 2026 next year. Thanks everybody watching. It's been a real honor to host y'all. Sorry that the beginning of this video was absolute terrible. You know, technology, they say it's easy, but it can get kind of hard. I think I might know why. I was using hotspot on my phone connected to the GoPro, so that delay might have been kind of weird, and then blah blah blah. But thanks for watching all my videos. These 2 years have been amazing. It's really been an honor to see all the comments that y'all have said, all the nice comments. If you think I can improve on anything, comment or send me a message if you don't feel like commenting. I'm happy to talk to everybody. If you have any questions about fishing, anything about equipment wise, blah blah blah, feel free to shoot me an email or a message on Facebook, Instagram. I love to talk to y'all, and it's a very big honor to be able to have an interaction with all y'all. And you know, I say it in all my videos, and I'll say it again. Let's go. Now, before everybody starts jumping off, if you have not, go ahead and hashtag Torn Outdoors to be entered in that giveaway. I think everybody watching has already done that, but I just want to make sure there's nobody that just joined in that has not. I want to be able to give away to all y'all. Yep, there you go. Well, thank y'all. I'm going to have a very fun, kind of a short. It gets dark about 5, so it's already 3:12 here, but we're going to make it the best that we can, and we're going to fish around here. Might not catch a thing, but hey, it's my first time fishing in 2025, and we're going to make it the best. So we will see y'all next week. Thanks for joining, and let's go.